What's up, guys? Toy Bro back again for another review. We are going to take a look at the last figure I'm picking up out of this latest Guardians of the Galaxy Mantis wave. We've got Adam Warlock here. We're going to do packaging like normal stuff. We got our window. We got our logo down here on the bottom. He is one of the cosmic protectors, and he shares that role with Ex Nihilo. We got our figures on the back. The two that share this spot, Mantis, our lineup. All those lovely warnings down there. Some artwork of Adam on the side. So let's pull him out. All right, so here's Adam Warlock out of the packaging. And I probably don't need to, but I'm going to do a bit of a history lesson because, I mean, he's not the most well-known, I suppose. And he's, featured sort of in the newest Guardians movie. So maybe folks who are only movie fans don't really know who he is. So Adam Warlock, he came about in Fantastic Four number 66. He was created by the Beehive to be the perfect example of humanity and like an all-around godlike human. He was only referred to as him at the time. He encountered Thor and Sif, and he tried to take Sif for his wife because he didn't really know what he was or what he was supposed to be doing. Thor beat the hell out of him, and he goes into kind of a cocoon stasis to regenerate. He comes back, the High Evolutionary gets a hold of him. He's who calls him Warlock first, and he gives him the Soul Gem from the Infinity Gauntlet, and kind of sets him on his path to being, this kind of cosmic force in the universe. He becomes Adam Warlock later on a different planet, Counter-Earth, that is created by the High Evolutionary. It's kind of a different alter Earth. Some teenagers give him the name Adam, so he becomes Adam Warlock. He fights Thanos. He's kind of the opposing force to Thanos in the universe. They're usually shown that way anyways. And he is part of the Infinity Watch. Big story in the 90s with the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, awesome stories, great stuff. That's where I first really learned about Adam Warlock, and I think that's where most people did as well. So I was pretty excited to get a hold of this figure. This is not his look that I would have wanted. I would love to get the classic 90s Adam Warlock look. This is more his post-Annihilation look, I believe, where he's more in line with what the Magus looks like, and we'll talk about what that is here in a minute. But we're going to talk about accessories first. Because he comes with these two. There is a third, and I'll reserve that for after we go over the basics of the figure. So he's got the kind of standard bubble energy style effects, which, as I've said before, I don't really care for these. They never seem to fit on the figures correctly. This one in particular is very loose. I need to probably do a little heating up of the bands here to kind of force it to be a little smaller. I just think they look kind of goofy. I do like the color on these, so I don't think we have them in this color. And I like that. It's very stark contrast to his blacks and reds, so I think it looks good with him. And it's kind of along the lines of what you might see him use. I just think it's really weird, though. This is like what I expect Speedball to come with. It just looks very, like someone's blowing bubbles at you. I wish they would get something new. I understand why they use these, and I'm glad I got some energy effects to begin with, but I'm kind of getting tired of them. So I'm going to pop these off. And sometimes they're a little hard to take off too, which is another one of the reasons why I don't like them either. You oftentimes just have to pop the hands off and then take them off that way if the hands are, more style pose like that. So we're going to go over sculpt and articulation, paint, all that good stuff. So I'm pretty sure this is the Bucky Cap body. It looks very similar to what Bucky Cap looks like. And it kind of fits the style of Adam Warlock. He's not a huge hulking character. He's a smaller, Cap style, like the pinnacle of human biology, basically. So he's very, very muscular, but he's also not huge. So I think the body fits him pretty well. As far as articulation goes, head's on a ball with a hinge. So he's got a wide range of motion. Nothing is going to get in the way of him moving that head. Arms can go up and out and all around. Bicep swivel. We have a double jointed elbow. And then we have a hinge and a rocker or a rotation here, and it's an up and down hinge on this arm, and then on this one it's as well the same. We've got rotation at the waist. That belt is a floating piece, and it's going to cover that hinge, or that joint rather, if you have it up correctly. It'll kind of hang there. And then he has a really good crunch. He goes over pretty far. He goes back, not so much. Mostly a forward crunch, but it's pretty good. Legs go out only a decent bit, not a whole lot. Kick is pretty high though. In the back, he goes a decent bit as well. Thigh cut, of course. Double jointed knees. We have a shin swivel. And then we have a hinge and a rocker at that ankle. So, standard Marvel Legends fare. Especially if you know what the Bucky Cap body presents, you know what you're getting here. As far as the sculpt on this guy goes, there's not a whole lot to talk about in terms of the body. It fits the character. I like it. The body's getting kind of old, I think. I hope they maybe do something a little different at some point, just to get a new body going. But it works well for Adam here. And the big things are the belt, the sash, and the head. So he's got this belt. Like I said, it's a free-floating piece. It's just kind of a bronzy, pearlescent plastic with the sash. It's not soft, obviously. It's a rubbery style plastic, which hangs down to about his shins. It looks nice. Nothing on the back. You get that nicely sculpted ass instead. But that's true to the character. That's what he's supposed to be. It doesn't go both sides. It's just the front, which, as weird as that is, that's correct. So, the next thing, obviously, is that head. And I think it looks pretty good. Like I said, I would have preferred to have gotten the more 90s era Adam Warlock look. And he does look a little different. This is a more updated Adam. He kind of changes from time to time when he goes into his cocoons for regeneration in the comics. So he's had a few different looks over the years. But I think the face is sculpted pretty well. The hair is sculpted really nicely as well. A lot of line work in there. And overall, it looks like the character, so I'm pleased in that regard. As far as paint goes, there's a decent bit of it. We've got blacks on the legs because the legs are molded in red and then they're painted black over it. The body is molded in black with the red painted over it. And for the most part, I think it all matches pretty decently. I don't have any glaring issues. The lines aren't 100% crisp, but they're all right. And then we've also got, paint on the sash here. Overall, I think the body looks pretty good. The face is pretty good as well. I'm not really finding any flaws with this figure. He does have a wash in the hair with some more black lines because he does have kind of they're not, I guess black wouldn't be highlights in his hair, but he does have some line work to his hair. He's got those black circles under his eyes. He's got the black stripe on his chin. And then he does have blue and white eyes, which are painted fairly good. They're not 100% straight, I don't think, but they are pretty good. And then, of course, he has those eyebrows. And he's got kind of that mustard yellow skin, which is correct, but kind of goofy. So overall, I like the way he looks here. And I did say he comes with another accessory. So let's take a look at that real quick. All right, so here is the other accessory he comes with. He comes with a separate head. And if you recall, I mentioned that he has a kind of role with what is called the Magus. So the Magus is an alternate version of Adam Warlock from the future, but he's kind of driven insane with power. And he changes into this character. He's supremely powerful, ultimately evil, and he's the counterpart to Adam, basically. He's where Adam is, godlike and pure and good, the Magus is beyond evil. So he's come and gone throughout the years. Adam can sort of change into him, but it's always kind of him being moved in and out of reality, sort of, to where the Magus is brought in his place and Adam is just sort of gone for a time. And this is more what the Magus looks like, and Adam sort of adopts this look over time. But this isn't 100% the Magus's look, but without getting too confusing, this is a pretty cool little bonus accessory. So it's just a head, but it's very much the same head that Adam has, but it's obviously blue with white hair, with blue highlights. He's got those red eyes, and then he's got those teeth that are showing there. And I think overall, he looks really cool. You can tell that in comparison to Adam here, he certainly looks a lot more evil. So I almost want two of these figures so I can display one as the Magus and one as Adam. Almost. I probably won't do that. So overall, I am, as you can probably imagine, I'm pretty pleased with this figure. I do think they're using, an old body that I don't really care for, but it works well on Adam. I don't have any paint mishaps. There's a lot of things about this character that I thought I wasn't going to like in figure form. The body, the effects pieces, but they all work together pretty well, and I really like his head. I love this character, which is obviously why I bought him. He does come with a Build-A-Figure piece. He comes with the Mantis head. I'm not building Mantis, so this is going to a friend. But just worth pointing out that, yes, you get a BAF piece here. So, you know, he's a good package. He comes with 3 accessories, 4 if you count the head for Mantis, and I think you're really getting a pretty decent value here for your money in terms of what he includes. If you're a big fan of the more cosmic side of Marvel Comics, this is the guy. I mean, he is one of the forefront figures of Marvel Comics' cosmic universe. So I can't recommend getting him enough if you really like that side of Marvel. But overall, he's a good figure too, and he's going to look really cool with those blue effects with a black and red costume and that mustard head on your shelf. He's gonna pop a bit, I think, when he's put up against some other characters. So that is going to do it for this review, everyone. As always, stay tuned for more. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.